help people relate with my situation, they will listen. Because they're like, guys like me, let me see what's happening. To be honest, the greatest obstacle always is us. That's what I believe. I will post daily. I would try to transform whatever I was doing on Instagram that was working into a video format and see what happens. Because, when I say something, I will try insane. I didn't expect that. And especially from Greeks.
Wow.
Yeah. 6 months later, I was already in above 1 million.
So we are back with a new episode of the Grind Theory Talk Show, where it is our mission to inspire and motivate our listeners by sharing the stories of our guests, their failures, their struggles, their obstacles, how they have overcome them, and to educate not only on the lessons that they have learned in the process, but on life, business, and all aspects of the grind. Now, first things first, what we always do, we got to always make sure that we give thanks to the man above. So we just want to give thanks to God. Thank you for him for allowing us to be here presently, for allowing my guests to be here. We're going to ask him just for the proceedings to go smoothly. There'll be no technical difficulties. For us to ask great questions that bring great value to our listeners, and let everything go smooth. So just a quick recap of last week's episode. We had Jesse LaCusta on, where we talked about the importance of not only failing fast, but failing hard, learning quickly from your mistakes. If I can fail faster, then I can learn quicker from my mistakes. Not only that, but the importance of action. Even if you don't know all the steps, taking that action and learning along the way. That was a great episode. Lots of gems, lots of tips, lots of advice. You guys can go and check that out. But today, we got a very special guest in the building. I'm very excited. We're in international waters today. So I'm very excited, and I'm going to introduce our guest for today. So our guest for today is from a historical, legendary, almost mythical place, and legendary great people come from this place. And it only makes sense that he was born in this place. So our guest today is born in Athens, Greece. Now, at a very early age, he discovered that he had a passion for sports and for business. Now, he channeled this passion for sports into martial arts, where he was able to earn his black belt in Kempo Karate. Not only that, but he competed for his country, winning the world championship twice. So now that you know that you don't want any problems with him. He's nice, but you don't want any problems. But not only that, he went on in 1998 to pursue his passion for business, where he attended one of the prominent universities in Greece, studying marketing. And in 2006, he was able to complete his degree and earn his MBA. Now, taking his experience, he headed out into the corporate world, where he worked for P&G, Dango. I'm pretty sure I might have pronounced that wrong, but I'm going to go with it. Dango.
Yeah.
So when he worked for them, where he was a regional marketing manager, managing brands such as Johnny Walker, Duracell, and many, many more. Now, after about 10 years of working in the corporate career, he decided he still had that urge for business, and he ventured out to starting his own business, combining sports, his passion for sports and for business, and that is where the idea for Champions ID was created. Now, Champions ID is essentially a LinkedIn for athletes, connecting athletes with coaches, scouts, trainers all across the world, showcasing talent, especially for countries that may not have as much visibility. So great opportunity for athletes. Initially, he saw a lot of immediate success, earning himself the Greek Entrepreneurship Award twice and being one of the top 32 brands globally in startups. Now, with success, there's also obstacles. And he ran into one of the obstacles when it comes to monetizing Champions ID, which led him to start his venture of Simply Digital, which is marketing platform, which he's able to now capitalize and help fund Champions ID. Not only this, but he is also the number one, not the number two, not the number three, but the number one digital marketing channel on TikTok, where he went from 0 to 2 million followers and 6 figures in the span of less than a year. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Konstantinos Synodinos.
It's Synodinos. Thank you
Synodinos.
for the great introduction. I couldn't have made it better myself, to be honest. So I see you did your homework. So thanks so much for the introduction. And nice to be here.
No problem, no problem. You gave me lots of material. I had lots of material to find. So Konstantinos, man. I guess first of all, how's your day going? Just real quick.
Sorry?
I was asking you how is everything going with you?
Everything is great. Busy time. September is always a month of planning ahead for me because it's like the year starts for me in September. That's what I normally feel. Because in the summertime you do some log out a bit. You try to chill. You try to see clearer what's coming ahead, what you want to do, what you want to drop, what you want to keep. So September is always, a planning month for me, and it went pretty well, and I'm pretty excited about what's coming next.
No, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. So take us back. I want you to take us back to coming to your earlier years and your earliest memories growing up in Greece. Lots of our listeners, they're not from Greece, so kind of take us back to kind of what it's like growing up in Greece and some of your earliest memories.
Well, I come from a family of two very hardworking people, my mother and my dad. Both of them were in the financial industry, let's say. My father was a bank employee. My mother was in the HR department of a multinational company. So I had this kind of influence of, of the financial / business industry early on. But, things were pretty tough for us when we were kids. The financial situation was not, the optimum. But, I never missed anything in my house, to be honest. But I don't come from any, crazy, privileged kind of environment that, I had everything ready for me, etc. And that's why I started working really early when I was 17 or 16 in the summer time. So, I can get some money and do stuff that I want without, expecting always somebody to give me money. And I'm really blessed that I came from such an environment because I always believe that, people that are coming from situations that really push them to try early on and stand on their own feet and try by themselves to accomplish stuff, they're always going ahead of others. That's what I believe. And we have that example in many cases, especially in sports. So many world champions are coming, from nothing, from very troubled childhood years with many situations, one parent being away. And I believe that, that might be the secret of success in many cases. Because the only way you can follow is the path towards somewhere, something successful. And you're hungry and much hungrier than others to do it. So, yeah, that was the situation, a typical Greek family, a healthy family. I had everything, I wanted, both of my parents. I'm blessed in that. And, I never take that for granted. And yes, early on, I had this kind of appetite to explore the business universe and see what's out there and how I can really make money on my own, try stuff, how I can become valuable in the marketplace. And that's how my journey unfolded.
Okay. I love that. And I definitely agree with that as well, because I think that actually I touched on that one of my earlier episodes, but I think that either the pain of not having people coming from not having the greatest opportunities either pushes you to pursue, to have great opportunities for your family, or either just the love of business or the love of a sport is what pushes you. So it's either, I feel like it's either one of the other two of those things. So, early in your years, what kind of led you into martial arts? I know I was listening, I don't know if my research is correct here in this point, but at one point in your schooling career, you were bullied. Did that push you towards martial arts, or was it something else?
Yeah, definitely. That was the main reason. I grew up in an era that karate and kung fu was really the thing, because of big blockbuster movies like everything related to Bruce Lee or Rocky,
Yep.
or karate movies or martial arts in general. So that was something that was very very popular at this era. So I always wanted to explore that. I knew that this was a way for me to feel stronger, to feel more confident, to feel more fearful towards others in a way, especially for a kid that was a bit fat back then. I was very shy. I'm an introvert by nature, so the people. I was not the most popular kid in the school, and that's why many kids that were bullies back then saw me as a target of bullying, or making fun of me or whatever. And that's how I wanted to be able to protect myself or to self-defend, etc. That's how I started early on exploring that field, and it turned out to be something that I was really good at. So I was naturally talented in that.
Yeah.
And of course, the balance changed after some years. Nobody bullied me again.
No one wants problems. No one wants any more problems anymore. No, I love that. And so I think, I know that there's a lot of parallels, me being an athlete myself, I know there's a lot of parallels between sport and business. Now, I know especially in martial arts, it's a lot of discipline. What is the I guess the importance of discipline, I guess not only in martial arts, but in business and in life?
I think, people that are, have done both journeys, have explored both journeys, the sports one and the entrepreneurship one, can see amazing similarities in both of them. And discipline is a major factor towards a successful path in both journeys. You cannot be a great athlete. You cannot be even, a pretty good athlete if you're not disciplined, if you're not consistent in your effort, in improving, in training with your team or on a personal level. So that was something that, came early to me. I didn't have that naturally in me, but I think that the fact that, I did many things as a kid, even, my piano, because I was playing the piano since I was 5 years old until my 17th year. So both sports and music gave me no option but be disciplined, because that was the game, right? I had to be there even if I hated the idea of going to the practice or going to the music school or to do my studies or train at my home. So that's how I learned that, this is the process. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. If you have a goal, and for me the goal was a black belt, or in the music case was, to become a great piano player, it was, discipline was the way. And for me, whatever I've done in my life, always the end goal was the top. So I wasn't just, playing the piano in order to, fill my hours or find a hobby. Or I wasn't in the martial arts field to, just being able to protect myself. When I started doing that, for me, it was clear. I wanted to be the best I can be. I want to be a world champion. I want to be in the national team. I want to win titles. I want people to remember me. That was the goal. Like, there was no other way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I get bored. Yeah. I'm kind of go. I get bored. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not in. I'm not participating. So, and that was those two factors. My hunger to go all the way, along with exploring the best, the best version of myself in those cases, was the motivation and the vehicle that drove me towards whatever I did in both cases.
No, I love that. I love that. That competitive edge is what pushes you. When you're not playing sport, well, I don't know, I'm not playing sports to just be average. Like, I want to be I want to be the best too. So I definitely resonate with that a lot. Now, so you pursued your martial arts career, becoming even a world champion twice. What was maybe the most challenging point in competing for a world champion?
Well, the most challenging part, especially in sports, is that I have won 2 times the world championship, but it was not my only participations in a world championship. So the most challenging part is when you lose. So, for example, one of the things that we were competing in karate was point fighting, right? Point fighting, and every single match is a knockout. So you might play 5 games or 10 games and go all the way, or you might be eliminated in the first game. So the world championship for you might last 3 minutes. So the tough reality, So the tough reality is that you prepare for that like a couple of years, daily training, preparing yourself mentally, being mentally focused on that, doing the best you can, seeing the whole thing in your head again and again, and then first match, you're out.
Wow.
It's really tough.
Wow.
It's really tough. It's really tough. And that's, your ability to rebound from that and go back again and find the motivation to wait another couple of years. Going to the next one is, what separates people from doing that or from quitting. And that applies to everything in sports, in entrepreneurship, in everything, in relationships, in anything you can imagine.
So you touched on something there that I find very interesting is what is you're training for years, you're training for 4 years. The Olympics only come 4 years, every 4 years. So you're training for all these 4 years and you're out in maybe 3 minutes, right? And it's a lot of work and time and sweat, especially in entrepreneurship. Sometimes you might be in business for 3-4 years and you might not even see any results or any profits in your business, right? How important is the journey versus the result? Because the process and the journey is going to last way longer than the result. The result of you getting to that 2 million followers might have just been, overnight I'm at 2 million followers. But the process of getting there is a lot longer than just getting to the 2 million followers.
Well, definitely. And I believe that that's the reason why most people fail, because they're obsessed with the outcome. They're obsessed with the numbers, the trophy. By the way, this is one of my trophies.
You gotta put it on. Let's see. Okay.
I don't know if you see it. This is a Greek champion, by the way.
Okay.
I think so. It's the Hellenic. It's the Greek one. I have one then. So, I was saying that, most people are obsessed with that, obsessed with the outcome, with the numbers, with the following, with the money in the entrepreneurship, on posting a successful Instagram post or a successful photo with them, making it, and that's what they dream about. And they never focus on falling in love with the journey, falling in love with the process of them, hitting the dojo in karate and doing the training, falling in love with the ritual, with the aesthetics, with, the smell in the school, all that stuff, with you opening your laptop, having your coffee every single day, being able to work on your own, to explore your full potential. If you don't love the game, if you don't love the game by itself, the journey, you will not be successful, and you will always find, difficulties much stronger than your desire to win. And there's no way you can win if you have this kind of attitudes, right? And that's why people are not consistent, because they have some kind of time frame in their minds saying that, what? Konstantinos did it in 6 months, hitting 2 million followers on TikTok. I can do it also. Or they believe it. Then, 6 months later, they are at 5K followers. And they're like, no, this doesn't work. I quit. No, timing is different. Your abilities are different. Maybe you will be in 5 million after a year if you still, pushing yourself, keep pushing yourself and become better, and maybe differentiate your approach, try different things. But they don't love the game. They love the outcome. And because the outcome doesn't come when they believe it should come, they quit.
I love that, because that's honestly what this show is all about. Because so many times people don't see the behind the scenes. They don't see the hard work, the effort, how many times you're trying different strategies, new strategies, different things to get to the 2 million. They only see, oh, he's at 2 million, but they don't see all the time, the effort, how many hours you're putting into your craft in the dojo, training and preparing, how much you're sweating, how much you got to sacrifice to get to that point. They only see the social media. You can highlight anything that you want, right? So they don't see the behind the scenes process. So I love that. I love that answer. So now, kind of going in. So you go to university, you do your master's in marketing and business administration, and now you head off into the corporate world now. So you're working for one of these big companies, regional marketing manager. Kind of, what was that experience like? And tell us a little bit about what that experience was like, managing these bigger brands.
Yeah, that was a great experience, by the way. So when I started, working for Procter & Gamble many years ago, I think it was 2006, 2005 or something like that, I really realized that marketing is a science. That's where I really understood that, marketing is not just creating a logo or creating a beautiful print or, making a great ad. It's a science. It's about understanding numbers, scientifically explaining them, making a plan that, is really adjusted to different parameters of the market, of the audience, of the attention of people. So it was a great school for me. The 4 years in Procter & Gamble really helped me become a great marketeer and have a very, very solid base as a business person. And that's why I say always to people, don't see the numbers that I hit here now in 6 months or whatever. There's a 20-year career behind that, right? So after, working in P&G and managing several brands in the hair care sector, in the home care sector, etc., I moved to Diageo, which is the biggest spirits company in the world. And I was managing the Johnny Walker portfolio, the whiskey brand. And I was managing, 14 different countries. That was an exceptional role, really fun, because, the spirits industry is totally different from, managing shampoos and detergents, etc. As you can imagine. Yeah, I was, I met many celebrities. I went to Monaco because, Diageo was, Johnny Walker was the main sponsor of F1. I met, the drivers of F1. I went to VIP parties, etc. So that it was a great fun factor in this position, along with the thing that I like a lot, which is traveling. So every single week I was going to another place, and the best part in that position was that I was able to work together with other people from other countries, see the culture, see their professional ethics. What they do, what is the market, how you can adjust your messaging to other audiences. And, overall it was an exceptional experience. But still, it was a corporate job. I mean, no matter how exciting it was and the fact that, I was having a position that, many people would envy, I still felt that, this is not me. This is not what I want to do. This is not Konstantinos ad. It's, in his most original version. I wanted to do things on my own terms, the way I think, and my mind is something that doesn't go easily into boxes. And when you're in the corporate industry, you need to go into boxes.
Yeah,
into boxes.
No, and I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. So now you're working with big brands. You're going to Monaco. You're via VIP parties. You're making good money, like money that other people would love to be making. Great opportunities. What gave you the thought process to say, or give you the confidence to say, I'm going to leave all this and I'm going to jump out into a field that, yes, while it's still related to my field, I don't have much experience in the digital marketing. I'm going to go out here and start my own thing, leaving this safe job that you're at, this comfortable position you are in, to go into an uncomfortable position now. What gave you the confidence to make that step?
Well, first of all, I knew that I had a very solid resume with the things that I've done in my life. So I was not afraid that, if everything failed, I wouldn't be able to find a similar job again. So I would go back to corporate and find another job, similar job to another big company. I didn't believe that, that was something that I was losing or was out of the scenario anymore. And then, I was at a specific age point that I was like, okay, this is probably your last chance, man. If it's not now, it's never. Maybe it's never. Now you don't have responsibilities. You're not married. You don't have kids. You don't have, high expenses every single month coming in because of kids or families or whatever, of mortgages, you name it. So you got nothing to lose. I had an idea. I was preparing that in my head for a year or so. Some of these ideas you mentioned earlier. And something happened at this point in my corporate career. I was pretty much forced to move to another country, in Singapore, which was where the global team of Johnny Walker was located. And I was like, okay, this is the opportunity for me. That's the moment. That's the sign, and it's now or never. So I took the faith of the leap of faith. I left my job, and I went all in bringing Sabotage idea into life by mapping out, creating something, and I had zero experience in the startup reality back then, in the digital marketing field, pretty much zero skills online. But still, I was really excited about making that work and learning through the process and finding a way to bring it to life.
No, I love that. So, just for people that might be in a similar situation or similar position, that might be feeling the way that you were feeling when you're working in corporate, that are trying to take that leap, what advice or what steps would you give to them for people that are wanting to take that leap, that there's something more for them?
Well, first of all, it's not for everybody, right? We have to be honest. Entrepreneurship in general is not for everybody. Might look sexy from people that are not into that, because they see that, we are working alone. I travel a lot. I have a laptop by the sea and I work there. It looks very sexy, from the people that are outside. But from the people that are inside this journey, it's very different. It's mostly downs, many ups, sometimes ups for some of them, for some of us, that we are actually being able to make it. We're resilient enough and consistent enough to go to this place when things start becoming easier for you. So first of all, you need to be aware that this is not for everybody. It's tough. Mm-hmm. And you need to have a contingency plan, a backup plan. You need to be able to say to yourself that, for a couple of years, I will give it a try. If I see significant progress, if I see that, I'm going somewhere, not becoming rich or super successful, I just say you make some progress. You see some positive results. You see some kind of traction in whatever you decide to do. So this is the first thing. And the other one is you need to understand that, starting something on your own, starting a business is very different from having a job and working for somebody else. It's totally different. You need to keep some things from that journey, which is, your work ethic, being able to organize stuff, being able to deliver every single day from your task list some things so you know how to work. But it doesn't mean that you are a business owner. Even if you were a director. I was a marketing manager. I was managing a team of 45 people when I left my job. Still, I knew nothing. It was totally new for me. I didn't have a boss, somebody to report every single week. You don't have this kind of, accountability towards anybody else but to yourself. So you need to be able to have this kind of discipline, as we said before, and consistency to see things through.
No, I totally agree with that. That's great. Those are great tips there. So you've left your company now. You start Champions IT. You're awarded. You see a lot of immediate success. You're awarded the Entrepreneurship Award for Greece twice. One of the top 32 global startups. But you also ran into a problem. Can you kind of take us into the process of starting up Championship ID and kind of the problem or the issue that you ran into and then how you dealt with it?
Yeah. So for people that are familiar with the startup reality, especially for startups that are focusing on the traction part and not the monetization part first, like for example Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, all those big social media never focused on at the beginning in getting money in the business. That was never the initial intention. The intention was to build fast a huge user base, right? In order to monetize later. And when you build this user base and you have engagement, things are easy. You get investment, tons of money, and the ways and the monetization ways you can explore are endless. You can do many things. So I was like, pretty much like that. I was like, okay, I will build a user base with many athletes. That was something that pretty much we succeeded. We brought many athletes, like 50K in 6 months or something like that. And the majority of them were from US. Even, if despite the fact that we were in Greece. And we believe that, we can monetize that. But it turned out to be much more difficult than what we expected. We didn't have the engagement level that we were expecting. Mm-hmm. So people, coming in the platform again and again and again and using the product and having this kind of habit. Because, when they have this kind of habit, you can really launch premium packages, different features that they are expected to pay for that, right? So we didn't get at that point. We didn't get the round A. We were expecting to get money. So we started having financial problems. People were leaving from the team. I couldn't get investment. I was really knocking doors for a year, trying to get the investment that I was expecting to get. And that's how Simply Digital came to the rescue as a monetization and a contingency plan for me. So it was like, I was never intending to create Simply Digital or a marketing agency or to monetize my marketing background. And it came, out of nowhere overnight, and I set it up, in a friend's living room. Literally in one night, we created the website together. And next time I had my first clients, next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you kind of, I'm just listening to what you're saying here. And it's kind of like, kind of what I was mentioning earlier in the previous kind of interview is like the importance of action. If you never took the action to step out and start Championships ID, you could have been planning it for years. You said you've been planning it for a year already. You could have been planning it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But if you never took the action to go and start it, you would have never realized that, okay, I'm going to have this problem with monetization and the financial part of it, and then actually starting Simply Digital. So action is a super, super important thing, I think, in entrepreneurship. Just taking the action, even if you don't know all the steps, because you can learn the steps along the way. So kind of now we're starting Simply Digital. You mentioned something of like engagement. In social media now too, there's capturing attention, I think, is an art. How do you go about capturing attention? And could you give maybe 2 to 3, how do you capture attention and maintain hold someone's attention, especially in your videos, your TikToks? How do you do that? Could you give 2 to 3 tips for somebody else that might also be trying to do that as well?
Yeah, so attention, first of all, is the number one currency in marketing, right? It's all about attention. That's it. Grabbing the attention and then using this attention towards a goal, which is monetizing, converting, keeping them in your platform, etc. And attention is really evolving really fast the last years. And the only one responsible for that is social media, how we consume content. So people used to be, used to have a much bigger attention span some years ago, because they were spending, 5, 10, 15 minutes, half an hour on a YouTube video to watch it. And especially for the creators that they were enjoying that. Right now, if you get 10 seconds on a video, you're lucky. Actually, if you get the attention of most people for 10 seconds on a video on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, the chances are you're going to get viral. So you see how much it changes and how much you need to be able to adjust towards this new reality. And when this reality changes, you need to adjust your content. You need to change your funnel, because short video right now is the king. Nobody can dispute it. Platforms are really changing their entire existence in order to serve that properly. You see that YouTube Shorts right now is changing the game. YouTube right now for me is number one platform, even over TikTok. So the TikTok opportunity is, starting to fade out, because, the supply is much greater than demand versus what it was before. But now YouTube is, for me, the new opportunity. So until today, you could monetize on YouTube only with long videos. Now, a week ago or something, YouTube announced that you can monetize with short videos as well. So right now, the attention is on that, and you will be able to monetize that and grow your channel faster than ever. So you cannot ignore that. You cannot ignore what is happening right now, but you need to be able to understand how you can grab this attention, right? And the way to do it is by understanding that the whole thing right now in social media is like a huge audition. You're being thrown in a big stage, most of the times in front of people you are not familiar with. They're not familiar with you, because right now social media is exactly like that. In the past, we were seeing things on our feed from people that we were following. So I knew you, I knew my friend Christos Nikas, whoever, Gary V, people that I decided to follow, right? Right now, Instagram Reels, TikTok, and that's how this started, YouTube Shorts, it's all about new videos, new discovery, the For You page that we see. So most of the times I consume content from people that I don't know, new stuff every single day. And that's why I'm saying that, this is a huge addition. That's what I'm teaching in my course as well on TikTok, that you're being thrown in front of new eyeballs and you're being judged like everybody else, like somebody who has 0 followers or somebody who has 5 million followers, right? And there is, you have the chance in 2, 3, 4 seconds to say something that will grab people's attention, but will grab people's attention for the right reasons. So if I'm a marketeer, I need to give you a promise. I need to give you a reason to stay until the end of the video. So you need to know what triggers people and what catches attention of people for your own objective, not in general, right?
Okay. And so with what is the right approach to capture attention now? Because how important is it to be authentic as opposed to, now I'm just trying to capture attention, I might just be doing anything. So how important is it to be authentic as opposed to just trying to capture people's attention, just doing anything?
You need a balance. And catching attention doesn't mean that I need to hold a lion on my hands, right? So go, crazy and do that. If you can do it, okay, fine. But but the way that, we can grab attention is not different versus what it was like 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years ago, when it was about the news and the newspaper. So you were walking in front of a kiosk and you could see 5 newspapers, right? The titles in that case was doing exactly the same as the intros of the videos do today. So somebody walks by, sees a title, it grabs their attention. It's pretty much the same. If the title is great, I might go and buy the newspaper. In your case, you need your title to be intriguing enough, evoke curiosity enough, or give a great promise that people will say, I cannot afford to miss this. I need to watch this. What is that? I will miss out if I lose this video, right? Or what is happening at the end? I want to know. So if you evoke those emotions to people, so curiosity, relatability. So if I relate to a situation, so if I open a video and say, imagine this, you're here and you're doing a podcast with Achille, right? So if I can help people relate with my situation, they will listen, because they're like, guys like me, let me see what's happening. Am I the same? Am I the only one who feels like that? So understanding human psychology that was working forever, even back in the 50s, right? Listen to what Ogilvy was saying about the importance of titles. It was like 80% of the whole story, of the success of an article. The principles are the same. So just Google and find out what triggers the curiosity, what are the psychology hacks you can use in your titles to create an intro that is really, that will set your video to success, to keep your people in the platform.
That is great. I love that. I will take that's great advice. I love that. So now I actually want to ask you, what has been in your life, in business, just in general, what has been the biggest obstacle that you have faced? How have you overcome it? And what have you learned from it?
To be honest, the greatest obstacle always is us. That's what I believe. And that's what I faced as well. So, especially, for example, with Sammy's ID, for many, many, many months, I was really obsessed with making things work on my own way, with the things that I had in my head. Even if I didn't, collect enough feedback from the market, from the athletes. And especially for people that, are coming up with a new idea, with something that believe it's innovative, it's groundbreaking, it's something that can really change the industry. Sometimes we get too obsessed with that, and you might miss out the reality check with the market, and because you don't want to admit it, that you failed, this route failed, or maybe it's not the time for that, it's too early or it's too late. So you need to be able to adjust, leave your ego at the door, and try new things, allow other people to give you help, and give you another perspective, and let it go if you feel that, you did everything you can. It's okay if you let it go. And I'm not saying that you're quitting. Let it go is different. You let go of a route that didn't work, or an idea that is not producing the results you want. So that was for me the greatest obstacle. Me having this kind of mindset that, okay, now you need to try something else, or you need to listen to other people, or now it's over, you need to change the website completely. Don't get attached with that. We need to change the route. So those were for me the greatest obstacles, to be honest. Or another example was that, I wanted to start producing English content like 1 year before versus when I started. So that was something that, was in my mind for quite some time. And it took me some time before I take the decision. And the obstacle was me. I was like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe, my accent is a barrier. Maybe people gonna make fun of me. So I was the obstacle here.
And so how were you able to combat that and actually get over that? Because I think that obstacle, like you said, the biggest obstacle is ourselves. And I think that's an obstacle that many people have, the fear of starting. Before I even started this podcast, I had so many thoughts, so many doubts. How did you kind of overcome that?
I just started. I took action. Yeah. And, at some point of time, you need to wonder and to question yourself, what is more important? You being afraid and avoid criticism or whatever you believe that you're going to face, or not achieving your goal and saying to yourself that, I got paralyzed because I was afraid of those losers in X country that will make fun of me, who do nothing with their lives, right? So if you really bring fear to the right place and in the right size in your mind, because most of the times we really oversize the factor that creates fear for something that we're trying to achieve. If you put it in the right size and in the right meaning, and say to yourself, what? For me, it's important to try and see how good Konstantinos can be in the international marketing scene, instead of sitting here and talking in Greek and just addressing Greek businesses. I wouldn't be here. So I did it anyway. I went, against my fears, against my laziness, against my, my fear of acting and failing. and I did it anyway. So you need to do it anyway. That's what I say many times to people that are camera shy, for example. Many times, this thing here looks like a monster to many people. And to be honest, right now, you don't have a choice. If you want to build a personal brand, if you want to be a creator, you cannot really afford losing that chance. Short video is dominating right now. Video is dominating right now. So if you really have things that you can share, if you have knowledge, if you have the appetite to do stuff, you cannot afford to miss this opportunity. I don't care if you're camera shy. This is not a lion. It will not eat you. Come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm an introvert. So if I did it, everybody can do it.
And I love that you mentioned that you're an introvert, because a lot of people think that everybody that's going on social media and having success is an extrovert, and they love being in front of the camera. When in truth, that's not necessarily the truth, because I don't like being in front of the camera either. But if you want to achieve certain things, you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone, because that's when you're going to grow. You're not going to, if you stay in your comfort zone, you can't grow that way. So I think that's a very, very big lesson. So, you jumped into TikTok, and I remember I was watching a previous interview, and you said when you started doing TikTok, you had a girlfriend at the time, and you were putting out your first video, and she was like, "Man, what are you doing? You're like 40, man. What are you doing?" And you were happy about the little results that you were seeing, and she was like, so how did you kind of, and I saw today too also, that you posted a video saying like the opinions of others. Who asked you for those opinions? Like I don't care about those opinions. How did you kind of manage? Because I'm sure that lots of your contemporaries and colleagues were, making, like, hey, look at what you're going into now. You're going to go TikTok, you're going to go dance or whatever. How did you kind of manage that? How were you able to push past that, the thoughts and opinions of others?
Yeah, it's really funny, man. It's really funny because, even now that I post sometimes my TikTok videos on LinkedIn, for example, that I have, a big audience of ex-colleagues, ex-bosses, ex-people that I was managing, and everybody, they're suited up, on their LinkedIn profiles, etc., being really serious and professional. I go with my chains and my hubs and whatever, and I'm pointing things like that, and, like, what they're going to believe, and I really don't care. I really know that 90% of them are really jealous of what I do, and really, not in a bad way, they really admire what I do, because, people, business people and marketing people can understand what is happening. They can understand that I'm not doing that because I don't have anything else to do. They understand that what I'm doing has substance and there is a business behind it, and it helps me a lot towards monetizing everything I do, and I build multiple figure businesses, etc. So they know what I'm doing. And at the end of the day, if you really isolate this kind of picture, of who is out there judging you and what kind of, how important is that for your life, and you make it, you put it at the right size in your head, as I said before, you will really minimize the importance of that. Because for me, my friend, nobody will, give me money from them, right? Nobody will feed me or give me money or pay my rent. Give a fuck about what they're going to believe, if they like me, or they're going to discuss in their miserable breaks at work with their colleagues. Oh, Konstantinos is doing that, or he's wearing LA hats, or give a fuck. I know they're miserable. So why should I care about their opinion? I don't. Yeah. I did something that 99% of them are really scared to do. They don't have the balls. They want it, but they don't have the balls to do it, right? Because it takes balls to do that and leave your work, leave your job, your safety nets, and say, you know what, I'm going rogue. I'm going to explore the universe with my backpack and my cat. That's it. So, yeah, when you realize you got balls doing that, you got courage. You're here to explore the best version of yourself. You might fail, yes. I have failed 100 times, but you're going to be so happy, so grateful to yourself about, doing that. And you're going to be surprised how much this process evolves you. It builds you up, makes you stronger, makes you more confident. makes you wiser, faster than anything else. So if you start walking that path, you're gonna understand that you're not gonna, you will not care about anything else apart from your own path, nothing else.
And that, as you were just talking there, it just made me, what essentially you say is it's a mindset. And I think I want to ask you what the importance of mindset is, especially, I know as an athlete, I know how important mindset is, because if I don't feel like I can be the best, if I'm going into a competition and I don't feel like I'm going to win, I'm probably not going to win. I have to think that I'm the best. I have to think that I'm going to win. I have to be competing like that. What is the importance of mindset in business and life, just in general?
Well, mindset is everything. Mindset is everything. And I will give you an example on that. So a couple of weeks ago, I put blackout, shades on my windows. So, when it's AM hours, I cannot really see if it's dark outside or it's morning. I don't get it because, everything is blacked out. So a couple of weeks ago, I wake up in my early hours and I watch my mobile, I see my mobile and I believe that I see that it's 6 a.m. That's what I believe that I saw. And instantly my mind says to me, oh my God, you only slept 5 hours, you're tired. That's what the first information that, hit my mind told me. And that's why I felt tired instantly. I refreshed my, I enabled my Wi-Fi, and then I refreshed my screen and I saw there was 9. Not 6. So within seconds, the new information that came in was that I slept 8 hours. Guess what? I didn't feel tired anymore.
Wow.
The only thing that changed was the perception of me having slept 5 hours. Nothing changed. Nothing else, right? So just with this tiny information, this tiny example, you can understand how important is your mindset. If you believe you cannot do it, yes, you will not do it. It's as simple as that. You set up yourself towards failure. Your chemicals, your body language, your confidence, your appetite to go and get it, your grind volume, everything, is pushed down because you chose to. So I hope you understand, how much for me, how important it is for me, the essence of mindset and cultivating it towards a growth kind of, in a growth way rather than, having the loser mentality and the loser mindset.
Oh, I love that answer because I 100% agree with you. I've learned that in more ways than one. I think that, if you cannot achieve anything in life if you do not have the right mindset. It's just impossible. I that's what I believe. So I 100% agree with that. I love that answer actually. I like that answer. But so now in the TikTok, how are you able to go from 0 to 2 million and 6 figures in the span of 8 months to a year? How was that possible? Can you take us through that process and what steps did you take?
Yeah, so, first of all, I already had a business, a marketing agency, simply this is a marketing agency. So we were, already above 6 figures with what we were doing, with, serving clients, etc. At that point, I was really going all in with my content. I was really trying to become more consistent, more valuable, to recreate myself, to try new ways. And that's where I started becoming, really focused on my Instagram posts. So I was creating carousels, long posts. It was taking me like a couple of hours, 3 hours per day to create one post. And then TikTok came in. I was ignoring it for a while. My girlfriend was back then really judgmental in everything I was doing. So like, I cannot afford to have this kind of voice in my head. Like, oh my God, TikTok now in the equation. I'm not ready for that. But, I think it was the first one or the second lockdown. I can't remember. So I was like, okay, it's time for me to explore that. I will give it a couple of months, 3 months or something like that. I will post daily. I would try to transform whatever I was doing on Instagram that was working into a video format and see what happens. Because, when I say I will try something, it's not like, I will do it for a couple of times or 5. I will dedicate an X amount of time to see the full potential of something. If I have a reason to be in that platform. So I started creating some short videos. I researched about the platform. I tried to understand the culture. I saw, other people that were in the marketing or educational industry, what they were doing, how they were creating short videos, what were the principles. So I tried to make, a framework in my mind, and I started adjusting to this framework. And after a month or so, I got my first viral video. I got tons of hating comments. The amount of hating that I have received on TikTok is insane. I didn't expect that. And especially from Greeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they were listening to me talking in English, and they were like, why you're talking in English, you old guy? Your accent is funny. You cannot do it. And nobody will watch you outside Greece. Stop talking English. You're humiliating yourself, and more hateful than that. Every single day. And then, when you go viral, the algorithm starts pushing you outside your IP, your country. So and because I was talking in English, I got views from US, from UK, from Philippines, from Europe, and steadily, because I was consistent, I started, understanding what made my videos viral, and I doubled down. I created more of that. I brought more series, websites, tools, hacks, I tried to modify, to find my own voice. And, 6 months later, I was already in above 1 million. After 6 months, I got my first branded partnerships, too much attention, new clients for my agency, consulting calls for what I do by consulting business, etc. So yeah, the hype was real. Imagine that, my TikTok, the last year has almost 4 billion with B views.
Wow.
From all over the world. And my biggest market was like 20%.
Wow.
And that was step by step. That was step by step. It was step by step, really. I didn't expect that. I didn't plan for that. I just went day by day. I never lost a day of posting, not even one. In 1.5 years, I was posting every single day, and everything else is history.
Wow, that is amazing. And something that I think I just picked up on there in your post. You said you post it every single day. People are seeing your face every day. How important is it to be consistent, especially in the social media area? If you want to achieve success, how important is it to be consistent? Can I post once every week and still have the same kind of results, or is consistency an essential thing?
Consistency is everything, like with entrepreneurship. And you might grow by posting once a week, but you will never grow at the level I grew, right? And that's why I say always to people, what is your expectation? What's your goal? People always say to me, how often should I post? And I'm saying to them, what's your objective? You want to become a world-class influencer? You want to become a huge personal brand? What's your goal? If you want to become a huge personal brand, you need to focus and treat that as a high priority. You cannot become a global brand with just, posting whenever you feel like posting. You cannot become Mr. Olympia by hitting the gym once per month, right? You need dedication, you need a plan, and you need to understand what other Mr. Olympians are doing.
Yeah.
I cannot create my own frequency. So I take in other creators, what they were doing.
Yeah.
And they were posting daily. So I said to myself, motherfucker, I don't care if you're lazy or not. I don't care if you're busy or not. You will build the habit of being here every single day and create at least one video. That's it. I booked my calendar for the next 3 months, creating a slot every single day from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And I was like, this is your creation time. I don't care what you're going to do. This is booked. Every single day, create one video and put it out there. And the most important part is creating the habit. I don't care about the outcome, but I care about, creating the habit of you.
So
creating something.
So even if the material is not even if you don't know what to post, like can you post quality content every single time, or is it about quantity over quality?
For me, at the beginning, quantity is much more important because, as I said, you need to build the habit, right? When you start hitting the gym and you're not a professional or you're not a fitness guy, you struggle, right? You look like a fool, right? At the gym, you don't know how to do. You don't know what to do. You do all those failed videos that we still like, right? So, but still, you need to build a habit. I don't care what the outcome is. I don't care that you look like a fool. I don't care that your training was a disaster. It was not at the level that you were expecting. You need to build the habit of you getting out of the door, taking your bag, and going to the gym every single day. And that's why I always say to people, I don't care about the quality. I don't really care. Start creating whatever you feel you can create. Of course, within the spectrum of your industry. If I'm in marketing, I will not showcase to people what kind of breakfast I eat, right? So it has to be within the spectrum of my industry, some kind of meaningful post about the keywords of my industry. Everybody knows keywords. Everybody knows what other people are looking for. And then I will focus on creating something, whatever. I don't care. The quality will come, but quality doesn't come without quantity first.
100%. I agree. Now, I know I won't keep you too long. I know we have to wind down here soon. I just have a couple last questions for you. So how, for somebody like myself that is trying to build a personal brand and build a not just a local brand, but an international brand, what is some advice that you would give to me? What steps should I take to build a brand, but not only a brand, but a community?
Well, first of all, you need to find your voice, your identity, right? It's not just about doing the right things. It's also about doing the right things for the direction you're willing to take. So if I didn't state at the beginning of my journey what exactly I want to become, who am I, how am I different from others, what is unique about me, and then take this persona that I have molded and take it out to the world, I wouldn't be here. Being in the minds of people in a unique way, because I stated at the beginning. Yes, you might adjust it. You might adjust your voice, your identity, your persona, your content strategy, even your needs. But you need at least to have some kind of identity, like who you are, what you're trying to achieve, what is your unique proposition, and then start creating content. Like your life depends on it. Because it does.
It does. It does. No. So I have one more question here for you. Actually, two more questions here for you. I missed it. So what is the importance of trial and error in business and patience and time? Because I know you spoke about the importance of time. Every time is very, very important, especially when you become more successful. You probably have clients you got to deal with, travels, journeys, trips you got to go on, different things you got to do. How important is managing time and also staying patient and trial and error? I guess all those in one there.
Well, it's the importance of that is paramount. It's part of the game. Trial and error, failures, mistakes, planning ahead for the long ball game. Because entrepreneurship is a long game. It's not something that you plan for the next year or 6 months. To my experience, that the people that win and are great in business and see incredible results in business are able to stay in the game the longest. So they set themselves towards this long journey. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Okay. And trial and error it's one of the basic tools of that. You try things, doesn't work, and that's why I said before, let it go quickly. Try things, fail fast, move forward, adjust, optimize, take some advice, take a mentor. Some people are really not willing to get a mentor. And when I'm saying a mentor, to get a mentor who is somebody who has done exactly what you're trying to do, right? Not somebody who is just, theoretically there or says whatever they believe. Somebody who is at the place that you want to be, and you hire them to mentor you because they connect the dots for you. So you save time. Instead of trying 500 things, I'm saying to you, you know what? Forget the 500 things. Focus on those 5 and connect the fucking dots. Start from A, go. Most people try to go from A to C. You just need to go from A to A1, A2, A3, A4. Maybe you're not ready for C there. So, yeah, mentoring is really important. Having people that can advise you, adjust your course when they see that, you're out of your course is really important. So, yeah, trial and error is the only way. There's no other way. There's no way. Even if I mentor you and tell you, you know what, you need to go from A to B, this might not be the case for you because my journey might be different from you. What worked for me 6 months ago at the same case might be different for you now. Something else might work better for you. So, yeah, you need to try and fail and adjust. And to my experience, my failures were my greatest adjustments in my entrepreneurial career. Whatever I was, failing, in a magical way, sometime later, I saw why I failed and why this was a blessing and not something that, like a huge barrier for me.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm glad this is recorded because I'm going to go back and I'm going to be like dissecting this whole conversation. But our theme question that we always ask to all our guests is, what is your theory of the grind?
That's nice. For me, as an athlete, I can say only one thing, leave it all in the court. Leave it all in the court, You get inside, it's like, your coach calls you after the timeout, you're in, it's your time. Now you need to go and change the game, You're 10 points behind and you're being called in the timeout, you're getting in the court and you need to give it all. You need to help your team win. You need to showcase who you are and play like your life depends on that. That's for me, the meaning of green is getting to the bed every single night and saying, you know what, I did my best today and I will do the same tomorrow.
Man, I love that. And I love that actually. One thing that I wanted to say here now is I wanted to give you the floor to talk about anything that you have upcoming for Simply Digital Champions ID, any products that you have upcoming, any just anything that you have upcoming at all. Listen, the floor is absolutely yours.
Well, Simply Digital is something that is constantly evolving as an idea. We started as a marketing agency, then we became a community, a movement of the Simply Hustlers, as I call it. So people that are really having this mindset of hustle. It's very similar to the grind, right? To the grind. So that's my mindset. That's my community. That's the mindset of the people that are following us. And for them, we're trying to do whatever we can to serve them with my consulting and my personal mentoring, with my courses that I offer to people about my TikTok journey or my income ideas that I have a book about that, or my agency that, we work with brands to help them go wherever they want to go. So you can find us as Simply Digital in every single platform out there. It will not be very difficult. And it was my pleasure, my friend. I really enjoyed it.
It was a pleasure of mine as well, man. A great pleasure. I would love to talk to you again in the future for sure. I will make sure I get all the links here from you for all the things that you have access to put down here so that all listeners can go and stay tuned and get tips and advice. This is only in an hour time. He has a wealth of knowledge, over 20 years of experience, not only in business and in marketing, but also in karate and Kempo. Like I said, so you don't want any problems. If you actually do something, just do it. No, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on. I'm looking forward to doing some more in the future, and I'm gonna let you go here.
Sure. Thanks a lot, buddy. was a pleasure.
No problem, man. Thank you so much. Have safe travels today, too.
Take care, everybody.